Hey folks, Kilt-Man here, Kilt-Man at your services. How are you all? I hope you're all doing very, very well indeed. Now, today saw the release of a brand new shark movie. Yes, another shark movie. Every week there seems to be a shark movie coming out, bobbing up to the surface, chomping away, often crap and bloodless. But today saw the release of Under Paris, or to give it its French title, Sous la Seine, which actually is a bit better. Sous la Seine. Kind of sounds kind of cute and almost quite attractive and romantic. Anything but. No, it's big nangs and limbs getting chomped off and all sorts of horrible, gnashing, blood frenzy craziness. Right, a Netflix movie. Yeah, so you're going like, whoa, okay, production value is going to be like, whoa, right the way down the bottom of the barrel, bottom of the yellow barrel, you know. Can I stay down with 3 barrels on him? Not with 3 barrels he can't. Well, I did a video when this first got announced, and I said, like, I'm looking forward to this because it sounds preposterous. Being as the River Seine, running through Paris, goes through a hell of a lot of France actually, is fresh water. And most sharks don't like fresh water. But this shark has found a way to adapt itself and do more than just adapt to fresh water. So, folks, spoilers ahead. I'm not going to go massively scene by scene. It's funny how every time I say that, I'm not going to go scene by scene, I end up doing that. But I've only seen it once, and that was this morning. And a lot's happened since then, to be honest. So I have forgotten a lot of it. But there will be spoilers here, and I will obviously disclose the ending. But it's available now on Netflix. You can stream this right now. So please do so. And if you haven't seen it, come back to this video afterwards. And we'll discuss it all over again. Right, French movie. On Netflix, you can watch it with it English dubbed. Don't do that, for God's sake. It's awful. I did have a little sample of that. I'm like, no. Watch it in the French with the English subtitles. Or if you're French, just watch it in French, obviously. But, right, it's directed by Xavier Gens, I think his name is, let's just check that. Xavier Gens. And he co-wrote it as well with a couple of other people as well. And, yeah, the River Seine. You can't swim in it. Since about 1923, you are not allowed to swim in the River Seine because of boats that are there. The danger from boats and the water is just not clean enough. Now, having said that, there is a portion of it where you can swim, and in fact, it's being used for the triathlon during the 2024, the year we're in right now, Olympics. So, right, it can be used, and this film uses the triathlon. Is it for the Olympics? It's definitely, it's just a big triathlon event, and part of it's going to be staged in the River Seine. Right, so there's a big event coming up. Bloody big sharks in there. How'd that shark get there? Well, we start off, and it's like 3 years before, and we meet our heroine, our hero, Sophia, played by Berenice Bejo, and they're at the Great Garbage Patch in the Pacific, which is a huge area of marine detritus. It's an ecological disaster. It's plastics and bloody all sorts of waste which is just accumulated there. And she's part of the research team, which involves her husband, Chris. And they know that they're tracking sharks and the ecological damage upon sharks and how to look after them. And they have one called Lilith, yeah, a great big mako shark. No great whites in this one, just a bloody big mako shark. Makos, of course, were the sharky stars of deep blue sea, which is bloody awesome. And I have reviewed it, and I've even done a video commentary for it as well. Do check them out. And they've got a beacon tracker on her, so they know whereabouts she is, and they're just charting her and all that. And the dive team, like four or five guys, including her husband, go underneath this horrible canopy of plastic shite. Go under there, and they find there is like I think it's a sperm whale, which is trapped. Well, it's dead basically. It's choked on plastic, and it's very, it's very poignant and horrible. But you also discover, hang on a minute, look at there's bite marks on this. Yeah, something's had a bit of a nibble. A big fish had a bite out of this big fish. Jaws 2 quote there, and pretty soon, they've gone down there to track Lilith, this big Mako, and they've got all the sensor apparatus on board their luxury yacht thing, and another couple of scientists are up there, and they're monitoring. And our heroine is going, look, she should be there. She's coming up somewhere, and it is a quite eerie sequence. And they're like, well, Lilith can't have done that because that bite radius is far too big. And anyway, Lilith makes an appearance. There are other sharks there. There's other Makos there which are feeding on this whale. But where's Lilith? Suddenly, Lilith arrives, and she's bigger than they remember her to be. And in fact, she chows down on all these guys. Eats the fucking lot of them. But our heroine, Sophia, suits up and gets in, just dives in. Got a mask on, but she's basically free diving. Gets in there, got a big harpoon gun, and what does she see? Oh, that's a severed arm there, and this severed arm bobs up and down, and it's got a wedding ring on it. Yes, her husband's wedding ring. Chris is deaded, chomped, and then the shark goes for her. She fires at it, and she gets snagged up with it in the harpoon and all the plastic shite as well, and gets dragged down into the depths. And it's quite an alarming sequence, to be honest. And but as she reaches a certain depth, her eardrum bursts, which is a clever thing to put into the movie, and blood gushes out of it. She's like, screaming, all that kind of stuff. And she manages to free herself somehow or other, forget how, and gets back to the surface, but there's blood coming out of her gob and out of her ear and out of her nose, and she comes up in slow motion. Whoa. And then we cut to 3 years later. So she survived, obviously, right? And she's now in Paris, and she's working at a maritime museum, and she's showing kids, look, we've got to protect the oceans, because without the oceans, we don't survive. It's all part of the ecology and all that, and natural environment. If we don't look after the seas, then we're going to die. And the kids are like, they're all laughing. And she's like, what are you laughing at? And the school teacher of the school trip's going, what are you doing there? Is it true that you lost your husband and all your friends in a shark slaughter? And she's like, how'd you know that? And post-traumatic stress disorder looms. And the kids all get ushered out, and she's all in tears. Anyway, I just found this. It just floated up, I wonder if there's a message in this bottle. Oh, there is. It says, your liver's shot to hell. Tell me something I don't know. Cheers, y'all. Bottoms up. She's contacted by a group of activists who they're monitoring these sharks. They're monitoring sea maritime wildlife, and they are activists. This film is very sort of on the nose when it comes to certain things. Yeah, you've got female leads, and I'm not knocking that, by the way. That's perfectly fine. But you do have a hint. Well, there is lesbians in it, and pretty much all the activists are young females, late teens, early 20s, young adults with agendas, and they want to be heard. So they speak to Sophia and say, look, by the way, there's a shark in the Seine. And she's like, are you insane? Are you insane? No, the shark's in the Seine. And you're insane for thinking that. But he said, but it's your shark. It's Lilith. What do you mean? How can Lilith be here? Come with us. Now this girl, Mika, her name is, and Mika is played by Leia or Lee Levion, and takes it to this sort of It's almost like an MI6 sort of Q branch secret location. You go through like I don't know, it's some big building, and then you open this door, and there's all computer technology, and there's all these hipsters are all there, and they're all monitoring sharks all around the world. And Mika's girlfriend, whose name I haven't got, but she's very nice, her lesbian friend, is in the process of sabotaging a fishing vessel with their communications and apparatus. And she's like, hold on a second. Right, your fishing days are over. Right, what can I do for you? And they go, oh, this is Sophia. She worked with Lilith. And Sophia's like, what the hell is this thing? Lilith, I haven't seen Lilith for years. I don't know nothing about this. How can Lilith be in the Seine? And how would you know that? Well, they've hacked into, remember I said the sharks had a tracking beacon on them, and Lilith is beacon 23. I've made that up. I don't know. 23. I don't know what it is. But so no, that we've hacked into it. We know, and we've been tracking her for the last 3 years. We've been doing this, and they've got like a world global map, and it's like this is the path she's taken all the way out from the Pacific, all the way around the Mediterranean, and everywhere. And now she's in the Seine. In fact, she's not far from us right now. It's like that can't be. It's impossible. No. Look, that is your shark. And she's like, this is ridiculous. And Sophia storms off. But of course, Lilith is there, and we'll find out that. But we also at the same time we meet the River Seine French police, like the amphibious, the maritime police in their launch, and their hero, the Sergeant Adil, played by Nassim Lies or Lies, however you pronounce it, who is ex-soldiery, but he's got a past. He's got a haunted past. Anyway, we meet these guys, and they're really good. They're nice people. There's homeless on the banks of the Seine, and they bring supplies to them, books and clothing and that. And they say to them, look, you've got to get out of here because the next few days it's going to be the triathlon, so you're going to have to. Orders of the mayor, you've got to move further. Oh, don't worry about it. Well, it's fine. Très bien. Everything's good. Sacre bleu and all that stuff. But they encounter Lilith, and this guy's dog is barking on the banks of the Seine, and they find obviously it's his master in half. Well, bobbed up and down like a can of top. He'd been bitten in half below the waist. Yeah, that's what's happened to him. And you see these sort of snapshots. These crime scene photographs are taken of this body, or half the body anyway. And so there's also been a car that's gone off a bridge, and this is what Mika, the activist, says to Sophia. Look, the shark is here, and it's doing some damage. Remember that car that went off the bridge? They never found the driver. So she goes out, Mika and her lesbian friend, whose name I've forgotten, but it's very, very attractive. They go out, and Mika goes under with a torch and all that to the car, finds the car, and discovers there's huge bite marks on it. So I mean, they guessed it anyway. She's just proving the point. Sophia's poo-pooed them off, but we've met the police, who's going to be our heroes. We've met them as well now. But there's a chomp on the side of the car. Now while she's down there, they've got like a little tracker, the mobile tracker. So her friend up top is like, it's there. Something's there. And she's turning around with the torch, and it's all like dust and silt and all that horrible stuff underwater. And just you can just see like shape sort of in there. It is quite eerie actually, and actually it does speed past her. But in the meantime, the police do turn up because you're not meant to be out on the river. They were blockading all this area off, and what are you doing down here? And her mate frigs off, just runs off. Fuck that, can't be arsed with this shit, And I think she did try to talk her out of going down there, but a kiss persuaded her. You know what lesbians are like. Oh, I'm gonna get in so much trouble, but I don't care because I love lesbians. I do. I wish I was one. Anyway, her mate runs off, and Mika services, hasn't been hit by the shark. And the cops, what are you doing in the water? I'm just clearing rubbish from the... Come with us. So she gets interrogated overnight, and she basically says, look, there's a shark in the water. And they're like, oh, fuck that, it's absolute rubbish. No sharks in the Seine. And look, speak to Sophia. So she gives the name Sophia. Anyway, that's when they find the body of this other guy who's been bitten in half. And so they call Sophia out, and they're going, is that a shark? Has a shark done that? And she's like, yeah, a shark could have done that. And don't forget, she now knows that that Lilith is allegedly in the River Seine. They get up to speed. You've got a lot of scenes in this early portion of the movie of women with this tracker thing, cycling up and down the banks of the Seine, trying to find out where the shark is. And you do see a couple of times during broad daylight, like a fucking great big fin comes up the dorsal fin and just sides through the river, unnoticed by anyone else. And Sophia's now like, oh God, I've got to find this thing. So she reluctantly joins forces with this copper who's like, nah, I'm not having this. And they say to their captain, look, apparently there could be a shark in the River Seine. And the captain's like, get out of here, no chance. But, in the off chance that you could be right, send a dive team down and go and have a look. So they do that, and you get quite an eerie sequence of like Adil. Does Adil go down there, or is he in the police lodge? Can't quite remember. There's a bunch of them go down there, and the shark is there, but they don't really see it. They find under Paris you've got not only the River Seine, but you've got the Catacombs, ossuaries, which house thousands and thousands of skeletons, from centuries. And a lot of them are now underwater canals, not just tunnels. They are submerged. So you've got miles and miles of this stuff. So the shark could be in any one of these, and indeed it is. But it's a great shot. Hang on a second. Here's another great shot. All these divers are sort of like, they find like a grill in the side of the wall underwater. But they can see something moving in there. And that could be a shark. And but we know that Lilith's much, much fucking bigger than that now. And while they're all like sort of balanced there, like in their scuba suits and all that, and you see behind them, it just comes up out the gloom behind them. And it's actually quite a good shot. And it doesn't do anything though. They kind of get wind that something big is down there, and they all manage to bug out and get up top. And they start using sonar. Oh, that's it, because just remembered, Mika tells, because they're watching, they've got the tracking beacon laptop, so they know. So Sophia, who's now working with the cops, is kind of going, look, it is there, it's there somewhere, it's moving up. And she gets the measurements of the Seine, and they're going, it's only 5 meters there, but when you go further out, it's like maybe 5.7 meters. She's going, well, that's nothing. She couldn't possibly hide there, because obviously the maker, was a female, and she couldn't possibly hide there. Where could she be? But she is there, and and she's actually a lot bigger than anyone thought. But Mika, the activist, tells her lesbian friend, turn the tracker off. She goes, well, if we do that, then we'll lose her forever. You sure you want me to do that? Yeah, because Mika wants to save the shark. She's totally hell-bent on driving the shark back out to sea and safety, away from Paris and all that, and the gendarmerie and all those baguettes. And so that's what she wants to turn it off, because they're going to find it, they're going to kill it. Turn off the tracker, but we'll lose it forever. And she turns it off. So when this dive team's down there, Sophia's watching, like, oh, little shark emoji on the screen. It's there somewhere. It's right around you, But then it goes, it's gone. What's happened here? It's gone. The shark's gone. I can't find it. It's because Mika's had it turned off. So then the dive team do get out, but they do put the sonar on, and they get a really terrific, huge shark shape on the sonar graph thing. And they show their captain, there's a shark in the Seine. Right, okay, let's go and see the mare. The mare's lovely. Yeah, it's a lady mare. And, but yes, Jaws. It is. And it's unashamedly, unapologetically Jaws in this aspect. Because they tell her, and she's like, and she's really, this is a film that's quite serious. It's not, winking at the audience. It's not like, yeah, gee heck, we know we're a Jaws ripoff, and we're gonna have fun with it. But hey, let's just go with the flow. No, they're taking this premise very seriously. Apart from the mayor, because the mayor is genuinely, really sort of like a pantomime bitch, and she's Murray Hamilton. She's Mayor Vaughan from Amity. Like, look. We put everything, all security into practice because there's going to be 10,000 journalists and athletes from around the world are going to be here in the next few days. And she's got her, I think he's called the prefect. He was like some adjutant, in a big uniform and a big silly hat, way too big for his head. And he goes, no, I think it's a lot more than 10,000 or 100,000, whatever the figure is. They go, we put every security measure into practice. If there's a shark in there, and as if there's going to be a shark in the Seine, I want proof of that. I don't believe a word of it. Just a sonar grab? No. And this expert lost her husband, got eaten by a shark. I'm not buying any of this. I'm afraid it is stupid. This is the stupid thing. Oh, sorry, Kilt-Man. That's the stupid part of it. Anyway. Mika so they know they've got like, well, look, she's not buying this. We've got to get more proof. We're gonna have to go and find this fucking shark. Now, in the meantime, Mika, the activist, has now gone onto social media. Yes, TikToking and Instagramming away like there's no tomorrow. Activating all the young adults around Paris. We've got a great big shark in the Seine. We want to save it before the authorities kill it. And we send a word out to the world that we're looking after the ecology. Now, let's be honest about this. There is a genuine ecological message there. We are polluting the oceans. This is not about global warming. It's none of that shit. None of your Greta Thunberg bollocks. None of that. Although clearly there's an influence there, perhaps. But it's not. And no, I was going to say it's not that bad. Actually, this sequence is really overtly naff. Because you just see all the kids and all the young people, and even a few old fuddy-duddies as well, like who just join protest marches. And we know a thing about that, don't we now? Protest marches. And upper class and sort of upper middle class retirees joining these things and waving placards and spouting complete and utter bullshit because they don't know what the hell they're arguing about. And nor do the kids, for that matter. But hey, let's not get political about this. We're talking sharks, sharking, and not dogging, but sharking, and but all these they're all sitting there, in the Arc de Triomphe and on the steps of Lourdes and all this sort of stuff. Notre Dame's in the background, and that big windmill thing, Moulin Rouge, that's the one, and they're all like, oh wow. And Mika's doing this big sort of rabble-rousing speech. We've got to save the shark and all this, and just tears in her eyes. But she's also jubilant. We got to fight this. Let's all meet together, because she's got a plan, a master plan. They're going to meet down in the catacombs, and they're going to use. Oh, what are they using? They're using sonar. They're using echo systems, I think, if I remember rightly, to attract Lilith, the Mako, bring her to them, and then they're going to try to drive her out to the sea. I think that's what they're doing. But this goes all over social media, so that the mayor knows about it, and the mayor goes like, "You've got to shut this down. Shut all those social media platforms down now, and get the cops on all this and go and find them." Now, in the meantime, about that, Mika's lesbian friend goes to the cops, the river gendarmes, and says, look, I shouldn't be here, but I think what she's doing is wrong. That shark is dangerous and I shouldn't be here, but this is... Because she tells them where they're going to meet. She gives them all the intel on the meeting place down in the catacombs. So the cops, our friend Adil and Sophia, who are now sort of reluctantly forming a bit of a bond, you know. Don't worry, it doesn't get romantic. Don't get given a chance for it to get romantic. They may hold hands, I think, a couple of times, but that's as far as it goes, folks. Ooh. If they had a swig of this stuff, it'd be a lot more than holding hands. Things tend to move on quite quickly with a bit of firewater in your loins. And so they're down this kind of eerie catacomb system, and all these kids, fucking millions of them are there. And you know, it's deep, dark water, and it's like a great big sewer system, really. And they're all perched on these very precarious sort of ledges. And the cops sort of like, they're going down this tunnel, right? We're gonna, once we get in there, you know, stay close, stick together. And how can you stay close and not stick together? And we're gonna get them all out in evacuation, because that shark's gonna be coming and it's gonna eat them all. And you're kind of thinking, I hope it does. And it does. And but the thing is, spoilers, folks, they get there, right, you know, they don't say you're under arrest, but like, Mika, stop what you're doing. Mika gets into the water, right? Wetsuit on, and she's got this sonar buoy thing, I think, whatever the hell it is. SOS shark or something like that's got it in it. Or save our shark. And like, she's using that to lure Lilith towards them so that they can somehow drive it out. I don't know. It sounds like a very foolhardy plan to me, as it does transpire. And anyway, so she's in the water and they go like, Mika, get out the water now. Dorsal fin comes up. But that's a very small dorsal fin. That can't be Lilith, who has grown immeasurably. We'll find out why, folks. We're going to find out why things have happened. And Lilith's had a baby. It's a baby Mako. Well, but it's still a bloody big one. And it's like, they're like, wow. And suddenly, Lilith turns up as well. Oh, fucking big panic. Massive panic. And Mika, who I genuinely thought was going to last a lot longer in the movie, I forgot her name now, from Deep Blue Sea, where they're in the, they've gone into one of the tunnel systems, like in Deep Blue Sea, and they're trying to climb up the big ladder, and the ladder gives way, and there's a Mako down below, and what's her face, who lost her husband, Stellan Skarsgård, got his arm chomped off, and then he gets hurled into the air, the big plexiglass windscreen of the big underwater laboratory. You know what I'm talking about. But that girl, Aussie actress, I forgot her name now. The shark just comes up and she's in its mouth, and she's like, and you're looking down as they come up to the camera. There's blood flying everywhere. And that's exactly what you get with Mika in this movie. She goes underwater and then suddenly, it just leaps up. And she's like, blood everywhere. Big chompo. And they're all like, oh no, massive panic. And when people panic, they push past one another. They fall over. People just, you run over babies to save yourself. And this clearly shows, the worst sort of panic situation. They're all falling in, left, right, and centre. They're falling in. So you've got two sharks in there. You've got the baby Mako and you've got Lilith, mummy. And there's limbs coming off. Folks, the film does have injuries and gore, but it really doesn't linger on it. It's in this country, in the UK, it's a 15. I'm not sure what it's rated anywhere else, but there's chompings, but it's not severe. Nothing on earth in any shark-related movie tops Robert Shaw getting chomped in Jaws. It's on him, and he's being swung around the sinking deck of the Orca. he's coughing up blood and he's stabbing it, you know, and nothing. And then it goes, and it goes, and blood bursts out of his gob. He goes in the cruciform position, gets dragged underwater. Nothing. Not even Samuel Jackson getting chomped in Deep Blue Sea. Nothing tops Quint's death in Jaws. Nothing. Simple as that. And this film doesn't even attempt to, really. But you do get chompings. So people are getting dragged out of the water and they've got their legs are missing. and I think a couple of coppers fall in as well. And one even dives in to try and save Mika and has to be dragged out again. One guy loses his arm and he's swimming. You know, like he's only got one arm and a stump and he's swimming. And then when we pull him out, his legs have gone as well. But anyway, they do get away. Adil, our police hero, pumps bullets into one of the sharks, the baby shark. And you cut to a scene in it. I said I was going to go through it scene by scene. I'm pretty much doing that, aren't I? God, I've got to learn to try to just sum up movies in like 2 or 3 paragraphs worth of verbiage. But hey, that's not why you're here, is it? You like this fucking non-stop stream of consciousness delivery. You cut to a scene in the hospital, and it's like any, you know, after a traumatic event, a mass event, like a bombing or a mass stabbing or shooting, you know, or a disaster. And it's all like gurneys, trolleys. People are like looking under white sheets which have crimson with blood, and and the camera slowly pans back through all this. And Adil, and he's lost a few of his mates there, and Sophia form a bit of a bond over this. I think that's where they first hold hands. I think so. I don't know. And well, what the hell happened? But they're ordered to go back there, and you shot the shark. Some people just sing about shooting the sheriff, but I shot the shark. But I didn't shoot the barracuda, you know. And the baby shark's there with bullet holes in it. Like, right, we're going to do an autopsy on that. And I, for one, I'm not going to stand here and watch you perform some half-assed autopsy on a fish, you know. See that little Kintner boy spill out all over the dock, you know. But they do an autopsy on it, and they find out. She's like, Sophia does the autopsy, and she's like, this shark's only 2 months old, and it's pregnant. I'm like, what? This is Lilith's baby, and it's only 2 months old, and it's pregnant. So they discover that not. Look, here's the thing about like fresh water. These sharks shouldn't be in fresh water, but because of the pollution in the seas, they've adapted and changed, and they've become their own new species. Yeah. So they're no longer the original Mako shark. They're Mako Prime. I don't know what the hell they're called. They don't even give them a name, but they're a new species of Mako shark, which can now thrive in fresh water, and also they can reproduce without the use of a male. Hey! So it is ultra woke, isn't it? We don't need men anymore. Women are going to rule the world. We don't need blokes. We're going to evolve to just give birth to more women. True nightmare scenario. But as I said before, you know, if I can be, I'll be a lesbian. Cheers, Joel. And so yeah, they can now reproduce without the use of a male, and they're pretty much they can become pregnant straight away, and you'll find this out. Without, I don't want to jump the gun a bit here, but anyway, the triathlon's going to go ahead, and right, look, we now know the sharks are there. The mare's going like, yeah, well, that bitch of a mare. You're still a cute blonde thing, like. She's like, no, it's going ahead regardless, and she put some political spin on it because they can't hide this now. There's been so many deaths, you know, because all these activists have been chomped and nibbled, so they can't keep that out of the press. But the triathlon must still go ahead. Of course, you fucking stop that. Look, And the mayor goes on TV and she's interviewed by all and sundry. Oh yeah, the shark's there. But I wasn't told the full story, which she was, and she just refused to believe it. She's blaming the coppers and Sophia for all this. But she's like, no, but we've got safety measures in place. But hey, isn't it a good thing? It shows you the River Seine is now clean. We've got sharks there now, and they're healthy sharks. I mean, in a way, it is a good thing, but that's the spin she's putting on it. The fin spin. And so she gets away with it, and the fucking triathlon begins, and everyone descends there. So look, we're going to have the army. The army are going to be there now, and with fucking recoilless rifles and high velocity, machine guns. We're going to have boats up and down there. But that triathlon phase is taking place whether you like it or not. So you do what you have to do to make these beaches, make this river safe. So I was back on Amity there for a second. And so they formulate a plan. Right, we've got some guys from the bomb squad. And we're going to go down into those catacombs again, and they're going to lure Lilith in again, somehow or other. I don't know, can't even remember. And then they've got loads of explosives, going to put them down there and blow her to bits. I should say that the lesbian friend of Mika, isn't that funny? The killer sharks are Mako, and the activist is called Mako. I don't know. And I've just realised that connection there. Well, her friend has gone like, look, I've worked out how to track her again. How can you do that? Well, if you knew how to untrack her, you could just reverse that procedure. You're a young person with tech skills. You can put it back online, can't you? So if you can work it out, I can do it. I can blah blah blah. I can do this. So she gets involved, and so this big sort of. This is now going to be the finale. The film is about 95 minutes long, I think. No, maybe a bit longer than that, actually. And you only have like sort of 3 or 4 major action set pieces. One's at the beginning where the husband and his dive team get taken out, but that's not even that spectacular. Then you've got well, obviously the big thing with all the kids, the activists get chomped. And then you get this. Maybe I've missed a bit out. No. Well, either way, it's not important. It really isn't important, because what you get now is a brilliant OTT climax, which just gets bigger and bigger, and you're like, what's coming next? So right, the dive team. I want volunteers. Adil has now confessed that he was in Army Special Forces. And do you know what? The phone rang the landline rang while he was saying this, and I didn't take it back. And I can't remember. I don't know if he was like a French, foreign legionnaire, or whether he was actually French Special Forces. I can't remember. But he basically says to Sophia, "Look, I was in the army. I was military." And phone went. And I was like, "Well, I don't care. What? I'm not buying any. How do you get this number? How did you get my name?" And I went back to the film, and he's going like, we were tasked with rescuing hostages, and I was too afraid. And all my friends, all my buddies went in there, and they did rescue the hostages, but they were all killed in the process. I'm not sure quite what he means there, right? Did all his buddies and the hostages get killed, or did his buddies save the hostages, but then his buddies were all killed? That's pretty piss poor military management there. If you manage to save all these people and then you get all of yourselves killed in the process, that's pretty bad, But he couldn't live with the guilt, so he quit, and now he's a copper on the river. So now you know his backstory, and I kind of was thinking, is this a hint of Quint? Because Quint's got survivor guilt, as I've always said on this channel so many times in different videos on Jaws, that Quint he's suffering with survivor guilt, which is why his quest to kill sharks is so fervent and obsessive, because he believes he should have died. He watched all his friends die horribly, and he I'll never put a life jacket again. He wants to die. He knows there's a shark out there with his name on it, and he wants to meet that shark. It's fate. He knows it. He'll kill any shark, hunt any shark, but he's hoping to meet that one that can take him down and deliver him, like Final Destination, deliver him like he should have gone way back in 1945. So this guy, I thought, is this like, because he's got survivor guilt about that, but they don't really labour it. They just bring it out, just dangle it like, well, yeah, he lost his friends and now he's feeling a bit guilty about that. But hey ho, you know, c'est la vie. So you get this big finale, and they're going to go down into the catacombs again, and use this. They're gonna again. There's all sort of things to attract the shark. This emitting thing, I don't know. Again, sonar, echolocation, because sharks can hear things and sense things for fucking many miles, and so whatever they're using. But they all go down there. Sophia's in like a sort of like silver and grey sort of like free diving suit. They always look very sexy, don't they? And I've got to be honest, she's an unusual looking woman, Sophia. Who's she played by? Berenice Bejo. When you see her at the start, she's got longer hair when, you know, her husband gets chomped, and yeah, she's very attractive in that. Then obviously, you know, because she's traumatized, she's got shorter hair and looks more haggard. But she is unusual. When you see her underwater, especially during that early sequence, her lips inflate subinchronic, and like just big duck lips, you know, like all them, you know, injected lips that all the scally girls have these days and the models have, and she looks quite ridiculous, to be honest. But it's just the way it looks underwater. But she suits up in this sort of almost like Snake Plissken's Siberian camouflage pants, that sort of pattern that she's got. And they go under and they go into the ossuary, the underwater ossuary, and you see all these skeletons and skulls, and it's quite eerie. And they're like, right, well, where's the shark? And like suddenly they look up, and well, you know, Lilith gave birth to that shark, which they killed, and that shark was pregnant. They look up, and there's thousands of mako sharks, thousands of them, all circling above them, and they're like, no, actually they can talk, they've got communicators, they can talk, and they're going, holy fucking shit, look at that. It's a mako maelstrom. And like, but she's like, look, they're attracted to movement, so don't, because he puts a flare on like that, and that's when you suddenly see them all overhead, fucking thousands. Actually, don't make any sudden movements, they're attracted by movements. Oh, I should say, there is the dive team earlier has a wrist mounted motion tracker, and the motion tracker, the screen is exactly what they use in Aliens, the motion tracker, you know. 5 meters, can't be, that's inside the room. Well, you know, it's reading right, man. It looks just like that. Man, it's a big fucking signal. And it would be with these, because there's thousands of makos. But Lilith's going, okay, well, they suss on, well, that they've given birth and they're all pregnant and they're all giving birth again. But where's Lilith? Something's wrong. She's not here. Can't see Lilith. Where's Lilith? Every time I see Lilith, I think of, I forget the actress's name, but she's in Frasier. The best American comedy show ever, Frasier. One of my favourite shows of all time. But his ex-wife, Lilith, and even though she's actually really attractive, but she's the ice queen, isn't she? And they shudder whenever she arrives. Whenever she arrives in Seattle, you know, the weather turns nasty. And Eddie the dog runs and hides, you know, because she is the Antichrist. But and then you've got the Mako is called Lilith. And but something's wrong. She's not here. Where's Lilith gone? You know. So anyway, the bomb guy just goes like they're somewhere else. I'm gonna plant the bombs, and you know, well, how are we gonna know? I'll give it a thumbs up, and that's it. In the meantime, the mayor is on a great big flotilla. Yeah, with all dignitaries and all the world's press are there, and all of these triathletes who are sitting there on the edge with their feet dinking their tootsies in the Seine, about to dive off, but the mayor's going to give the big sort of the gun, go, you know, and like she's all made up with herself. But you've got like all these special forces and combat police teams and speedboats with fucking heavy caliber machine guns and all sorts of stuff. Helicopters and things are flying over. You've got people on the bridges with fucking recoilless rifles and great big sniper efforts. And, you know, it looks like the world's worst terrorist scenario, you know. So, right, well, when I hit the button, you know, I'll give you the thumbs up, I'll let you know, and get out the way. But what about you? Well, don't worry about me, sort of thing, you know. If I don't make it, I don't make it. And they all say that. If I don't make-o, I don't make-o. Oh, God. So, this all kicks off, and obviously, Lilith does make an appearance, but one by one, all the team get chomped and attacked, and it's you know, and you do see a couple of moments of people in the sharks' mouths getting bitten in half and the bits floating off. Again, very like Deep Blue Sea. Limbs are floating everywhere, and then hits the ball, boom, fucking blows up. Sophia and Adil manage to survive. All the rest of the team get killed, but some of their mates are patrolling around in a boat outside, and they come up and all that. But she's going like, there's something wrong, you know. Where was Lilith? Lilith wasn't there. So they reckon these bombs have killed all these sharks. Anyway, she goes back down again because I think the Adil gets on the boat and all that, like, and she goes back down again, and she's in there, and suddenly, as she's going for, I think she's going for one of these sort of like hatchways into the catacombs, and Lilith suddenly makes an appearance and fucking explodes through the wall into the river. Boom! Smashes through the wall, and she's like, Sophia's like, fucking hell, Lilith. How can you ever make Lilith's here sound terrifying unless you're doing Frasier? Lilith's here. She's here. And they're like, and all the swimmers are just down there, and like the big shark, the one they've tried to kill, is there in the river. Holy shit, married. Holy shit. And she's like screaming to them, it's around here now, and it comes up underneath the patrol boat, boom, and fucking knocks it like 80 feet in the air, and these people are skittled everywhere, fucking all sorts. People are getting chomped, police people are getting chomped again, people that you've got to know but didn't really care about. And Adil and Sophia get on top of the upturned patrol boat, but the shark fucking hurtles down towards all the swimmers, and in a nice little neat trick again, you've got like a row of yellow buoys, you know, bobbing up and down, buoys, and its dorsal hits this line, because obviously that's the end of it. When you're swimming, you're doing your lap, you're going to hit that layer of buoys and turn around and come back again. And like, I think so, I've got a hair in my mouth. I hope it's one of mine. And like, you've got the announcer is going, okay, they've done 3 laps, there's 7 more laps to go, and they're all like en masse ploughing down the Seine. And then behind, you can see this trail of yellow buoys mimicking the yellow barrels from Jaws. Whenever the colour yellow is on screen in Jaws, it's a Spielberg trick. Well, not a trick, it's a sign, a signal that the shark is there. So yellow means death. If you look at the film, yellow is signified in every scene where the shark does some damage, and of course the yellow barrels off the orca. And so it's going there, and there's a shot where it loses most of them, but 3 are still attached, so it's got 3 barrels on it. And it goes into this lot, and you see it underneath, and all these people are obliviously swimming, and they're getting taken down one by one, and it does get a load of people. You've got to think the Meg and Meg 2 promised so much of this kind of carnage and didn't deliver on either count, in either version. This one does. It takes down hundreds of people. It really does. And So they send them, the boats are going in there, and they're straight, they're really fucking going in. But there's something I missed out. Earlier on, when you've seen our river police doing their normal day-to-day job up and down the Seine, and people are swimming, get out the fucking water, you're not allowed in here. And, you know, people are using their magnet fishing, and they bring up unexploded shells from all sorts of conflicts, by the way. But the Seine has apparently got thousands of these things that are in there. And earlier on, you've seen these kids, and he's like you know, put that down. But luckily, it's in there, so it wasn't going to go off anyway. But there's thousands more down there, which we may never find. Well, this film finds them. And they realise you're shooting into the area where all these unexploded shells are. And of course, yeah, and they're throwing grenades in and also boom. And with a concussion, these shells are lifting off the riverbed and like floating up and then coming back down and then boom! So you've got explosions left, right, and centre, and boats are getting fucking held everywhere, and it's just it's blood and carnage. The sharks eating everybody, and it's quite exciting, to be honest. It's fun. It's pure disaster mode and very, very OTT. I wish it was a bit bloodier, but you know, it's still exciting enough. And they go, no, fucking these bombs are going off, and it starts a chain reaction underwater. Each bomb is blowing up, causes a concussion. So further down the river, another one will rise up, and then boom. So and then all the bridges, because they start blowing up all the bridges too. Like fucking. Think The Dark Knight, when the Joker blows up all the bridges to Gotham and all that. No, it's The Dark Knight Rises. Sorry, The Dark Knight Rises. And it's not the Joker, it's Bane that blows them all up and cuts off Gotham entirely. And but think of that, and all these bridges are getting blown to bits. And that in turn causes a fucking tsunami. It's just fucking ridiculous. So suddenly, like, Adil and Sophia have managed to get on top of this upturned boat, and they're like, oh my god! And they're watching. Not only is there, like, you know, a big fucking dorsal fin, but it's a bloody great big tidal wave coming down the Seine. So they get hurled into oblivion, as does everybody else and the mayor. Now there's a disappointment here, because the mayor and that prefect and all the other dickheads on that flotilla, the wave hits them. And they get skittled, and you see the mayor like underwater. Oh. But don't you miss the trick? Don't you want to see her get eaten? Isn't that what you were leading up to? Well, you don't get it. If she does get eaten, I did not see that, and I can't believe I missed it. But you see her underwater, and she's still alive. She could survive it. Anyway, so the big tsunami fucking takes over, and then Sophia and Adil manage to get out the. This film has a lot of people being dragged out of water. It's forever like a hand from above dragging someone from out the water onto something which might not even necessarily be even any safer. And they get on top of like what looks like an upturned, maybe on the banks of the Seine, you've got like an ice cream vending stall, you know, a boutique, I don't know what you call them. And sort of a metal roof, and they get on top of that, and like, are you okay? Yeah, okay. Where's the shark? I don't know. And like, they look around, and suddenly there's a great big fin, a big dorsal fin going past them, and the camera pans back, and there's not one, not two, not dozens, thousands of dorsal fins, and the camera keeps pulling back, and all of Paris is flooded, and you see shots of the Paris underground, the subway, and the sharks swimming down there as well. Like, forget about the London underground, which has giant werewolves prowling under there, but this has got sharks under there, and fucking hell, it just pans back, and that's it. The film ends there. Paris has been taken over. The Eiffel Tower is partly underwater. The Louvre, Lourdes, everywhere is fucking Madame Tussauds. Everything is underwater, like, and the sharks are everywhere. It's just this apocalyptic conclusion. And in a way, I thought, that's quite audacious, that, because the sharks have taken over. And every single one of these sharks is female and can give birth to another shark. That's it. Paris is over. Forget it. You know, you're shark bait. That's what you are. Cheers, y'all. I'm playing its soundtrack now. The soundtrack is by Anthony Damario, Alex Cortez, and Edouard Rigodia. Or Rigodia. I don't know. And I bought that, by the way. I didn't just, illegally download it and stream it and nick it. I bought the bloody thing. And I bought it before I'd seen the film. I realised the film was coming out today, and I lay there in bed and I thought, oh God, I wonder if the soundtrack's out. And of course, on Amazon, it was under its French name, which is Sous la Seine. So I found it, I bought it, played it, and I thought, that's not very memorable. Shit, should have watched the film first. And to be honest, it isn't a memorable score at all. It's very generic, but it's okay. During that finale, that helter-skelter, pell-mell, waterlogged finale of massive chompings and dorsal fins everywhere, machine gun fire and explosions and bridges collapsing and a big tsunami, it's quite exciting. So, but other than that, it's pretty forgettable and blandly generic. So anyway, Under Paris, did I enjoy it? Yes, I did. Would I watch it again? No. All of it? No. Would I dip into it? Perhaps. I'd watch the finale again. I would do that. And of course, the beauty of being, on a streaming platform is that you can just do that anyway. I said before, you can watch it in English, dubbed. Don't. Because the film isn't magnificent. It's enjoyable while it's on, but it's also pretty forgettable until the big finale, the big apocalyptic finale. But it's made considerably worse by really bad bugaboo dubbing with really naff American voices which just don't fit the mouths, and it's really patronisingly, asinine. It's just rankles. Watch the French language version with the subtitles. Fine, totally fine. Visually, yeah, there's some striking scenes. The underwater ossuaries, the catacombs, they're pretty eerie. The film is very crystal clear, very bright and colourful. Even the murky underwater bits with like lamplight, torchlight, it's still pretty well illuminated. But a lot of it's sort of very brightly lit, or it is daylight and sunny and vivid. So nice, crisp and clear sort of image. CG. Yeah, it's Netflix, folks. Well, the CG isn't great. It's not as bad and as overt as Deep Blue Sea, which, although I love Deep Blue Sea, and certain shots with the animatronic sharks are fantastic, but we're talking about the CG here. The CG of Deep Blue Sea is pretty awful, and this isn't considerably better. But you've got to accept that. There's no I don't know how big that bloody Mako's meant to be, like 35 foot, which actually is the size of the shark, the big shark in Deep Blue Sea. So it's the same sort of scale as that, but it's rushing by. It's clearly rushing by. A lot of the underwater scenes, I don't know how they filmed them, whether they are genuinely underwater or they do it in a tank and they do it, and it's fake water with CG bubbles and stuff like, and ripples and water effects. I don't know how they did it, but it looks too crisp and too clean to be genuinely real. But there definitely are people in real water being attacked by fake sharks, but there's definitely real action in real water. So a lot of that takes place, and the River Seine is definitely used quite considerably as well, which is pretty impressive, to be honest. And it is reasonably exciting. There are some great throwaway eerie shots. That one I mentioned earlier, when the police dive team first go down there, and I think it goes off the track and she's like, it's gone. Where's it gone? Where's Lilith gone? And you just see it comes up behind them, but it doesn't do anything. It just comes up and it's like, and they're all like in front with their backs to it, like, should be a shark around here somewhere. And it's like right fucking behind them. And it just, the next shot, it's gone. I like that. Is it scary? No, it's not scary in the least. Sadly, I wish it was. You can feel, like, oh no, I don't want to be in the water with that thing around. But you're not like Jaws. It's not going to give you nightmares. It's not going to keep you out the water for the rest of your life. It won't do that. It might keep you out of France for the rest of your life. But there's many other reasons for that, though. I love France. France is great. Paris is fantastic. Well, it used to be. I'm not sure how it is now. Cheers, John. Merci beaucoup. But yeah, I love shark movies. Like I love werewolf movies. Like I love stalker slash movies. It's just another one that's come along, and God, Sharktopolis and Shark, Mecha Shark, Shark on Mars, all them fucking sci-fi asylum movie shite. This is infinitely better than all of those. Although, to be fair, because it's playing it quite po-faced, you might not enjoy it as much. I think the dafter these things are, maybe you do derive more entertainment value out of them. This, because it's like, it's dead serious. Because it's serious, you can't take it seriously, if you know what I mean. But it's still nice that they're doing that. Look, yeah, it's a hokey scenario. A fucking big mako shark in the River Seine during the triathlon. And a French mayor that's refuses to believe it. Well, we can still swim. We've got the world's press here. This is going to bring millions, to our fair city, our gay Paris. We've got a couple of sharks in the water. So what? It means that our waters are clean. The eco message is actually horrifically overt, but I suppose necessary as well. I mean, I'm not leaping on any bandwagon. I am not at all. Oh, global warming. The earth moves in cycles. You have hot periods, you have cold periods. We happen to be entering a medium warmer period. It's not going to wipe us out. The world's not going to be fucking incinerated. It's going to carry on. Mother Nature carries on. However, we are polluting the seas really bad. Oh, it is me. I'm doing it now. But we are polluting the seas. Plastic and all our detritus, our sewage into the seas is causing a disaster for marine life and ecology. And in effect, that will affect us, the food chain, the fisheries, and water and oxygen. All of this is all connected. So we are causing a lot of damage down there. So, the film is fucking bludgeoning home that with a great big fucking harpoon, and and quite rightly so. But it is sledgehammered though. And the fact that it's all kids, I'm not sure how the way to have done it the better way would have been to have someone, an older scientist, who's working with the kids. Like, well, come and see Professor W. He was ousted from so-and-so university for his outlandish views, but now he's working with us. And like, look, here's my charts, my graphs. We know. And I think like Sophia, who's our heroine, she gives it some. She's very strenuously active in the movie. As I say, an unusual looking woman, but hey-ho, each their own. But she's good. She's good in the role. Adil, as the copper, is a bit, he's a bit fucking cliche, but I like the fact that it's her that saves him at the end and brings him on top of it. Are you okay? His arm's being gashed open, like, and in fact, he's barely conscious, if I remember rightly. So, and she's the one who's like looking around and all these fucking fins are surrounding them. Oh, there's a stupid line there earlier on when the fucking, to that bit probably, the shark comes out of the catacombs, the big shark, Mummy Mako come blasting out of the thing, like, and Sophia's like, oh my god, the shark's here, like, and it butts the air, it fucking smacks the air, the police patrol boat 80 feet in the air, and then she manages to get Adil on top of the upturned hull of the boat, and everyone else has been killed, and they're sitting there, and the shark's fin's going around them, and like, he says something like, I'm sure he says, it's circling us, which it is, it's circling them. She goes, no, it's not, it's heading for the swimmers. No, he said, it's circling us, because that's exactly what it's fucking doing. It's circling you right now. And then in the same breath as it's still saying, she goes like, no, it's heading for the swimmers. No, it isn't. It's like she's it's like she's told it. It's heading for the swimmers. The shark's like, oh shit, yeah, I'm heading that way. Sorry, thanks for the tip off. You know. Anyway, it's a shark movie. It's fun. It's not fucking brilliant, but it's enjoyable. And yeah, I'm gonna go to Flicks to see it either. Oh god, that reminds me. There is I'm gonna have to do a video on this coming up soon about the apparent death of cinemas. Sadly, brought to a really nasty head by my favourite film of this year so far, and probably, definitely, Furiosa: A Mad Max Saga, a film I've talked about a lot on the channel, as you know, and it's doing disastrously, and it's now getting blamed for like, well, George Miller won't do another Mad Max movie after this because it's not making any money. Well, I'm going to do a video on this, but it's also being used as the spearhead, the poster boy or poster girl for the death of cinemas. No one's going to cinemas because things are coming out to stream or home video very quickly after the cinematic release. So they can't be arsed going. There's a lot more reasons than that, to be honest, but blockbusters this year have really, really underperformed. Now this film, I don't think it was ever going to go to cinemas. Sorry, if I talk for like an hour, which I've done over an hour now, my throat gets dead dry and I start coughing, get all dry and raspy, which is why I've got this. Someone say, no, Kilt-Man, that's why you're coughing. Who knows? Who cares? I'm past caring now anyway. But yeah, there's a lot of different reasons why cinemas are seemingly dying. And they've gone through this before, and they've always come back. Lockdown was a huge, huge thing. But cinemas had a big revival. And there are big movies coming out, but the big movies aren't making the money that they should be making because no one's going. Now, me and my son have done our bit for Furiosa. I've seen it 4 fucking times. That's nothing. I saw Fury Road 7 times within the first week. No, I saw it more than that. I saw it twice the first day, and I saw it every day since. But when I love a movie, I go back and, well, I don't do it so much now. So there in effect is like, even someone like me, I don't go back as much as I used to watch the same film. As I speak right now, my son is down at our local flea pit, the Light Cinema, watching The Shining extended cut, the full Shining. How many films have been re-released as anniversary editions this year? Fucking hundreds. My son he's seen George, he's seen Godfather 2, he's seen The Warriors, he's seen, oh shit, God, so many, and now he's seen The Shining. But all these films that he'd never seen cinematically, I've seen them all in the cinema, all of them. So that's why I'm not going. But so it's funny how, like, I said to him before he went, I said, like, I bet you're the only one there watching The Shining. He said, no, you're wrong, actually. I had to book the ticket for it. He said, and it's packed. Well, isn't that great? So if people are going to go and see a film like The Shining, which of course I love as well, and it's great to see it in a cinema. But no, I was staying behind to do this for you guys. The sacrifices I make, and no, I've been drinking, so I wasn't going to sit there and fall asleep and start farting, you know, which I could have done. Here's Johnny. But I do love going to cinema, but I don't go anywhere near as much as I once did. It's expensive, and other people, I've said many times, I love the theatrical experience, the cinematic experience, but sitting there with, if it's packed out, I don't like it. I need to be on the end of a row. I need to have an easy fucking escape route and stretch a leg out, you know. And I've only got short legs, but I don't like being in a crowd anymore. I stopped liking that a long while ago. I go to live gigs and stuff, and packed pubs and clubs. I love that. But sitting there, no, I can't. I just can't do it. Anyway, that's for another video, isn't it? All that sort of talk. But yeah, so we've seen The Shining, and but back to big Mako sharks. In a way, it's good that it's a Mako, and they didn't go with the Great White. I remember when I first did a video on this movie, and I said, this is the premise, this sounds good. And I put the poster for it up on my thumbnail, and people were going, I was saying, I don't know if it was to be a great white. They didn't say what kind of shark it was, so I don't know if it was to be a great white or not. Like, and everyone was coming on saying, it's a bull shark, it's a bull shark, that. Bullshit, it's a fucking Mako. It's not a real shark. There are animatronic stuff in this. Should have said that before. There is animatronic and practical stumpy bloody effects and stuff, but and prosthetics. But there is an animatronic shark in a couple of sequences. There definitely is, and especially the baby one has been shot in the head, and they do the autopsy on it. That's a big, you know, practical effect. So there is that stuff, but you know, the vast 99% of the shark activity in this is CG. But there's nothing can beat, you know, a serene surface of water, and then suddenly with it, the camera is moving, and a fin just goes and rises up. The best is still from Jaws 2, when it comes up behind the water skier. That is still the best moment of a dorsal fin arriving in a movie. It was great in Jaws, but in Jaws 2, with Jeannot Swark, who took over from John Hancock, who's only seen in Jaws 2, I know, I've talked about this a million times, I've done commentary for Jaws 2 as well, the only scene that because he got ousted from directing it, the only scene that exists in his, what was going to be a gothic shark horror movie. I'd love to have seen that. I'd love to have seen that full version, although he didn't make much of it at all. But you got an early sequence of the shark fin rising in a gloomy, foggy, misty Amity, and this shark fin goes up and just cruises along, and it's misty and eerie. It looks like an old Hammer movie, but with a fucking shark fin instead of Christopher Lee. And I'd love to have seen that. That's a great shot in Jaws 2, and John Hancock did that. But Jeannot Swark does, you know, the water skiing moment, and when it rises, and John Williams' music, fuck it, let's play it. Let's be honest, this hardly floated your boat or sunk it. It's not great, is it? But let's just find Jaws 2. By the way, I do applaud all those that stick around for these videos. You know, I clicked on this to watch a review. Oh, well, I got that in the first few minutes, and then they fuck off. That's fine. Some people, a few people, newbies, stick around and go, you know what? I kind of like this. This idiot just fucking rambles on, but I'm actually enjoying it. I'm having a bevy, and that's the point. My videos are meant to be. We're kicking back and we're just having a great big laugh and a big debate and a big discussion and a bit of fun with alcohol, preferably. Well, it's always alcohol with me. All right. John Williams. But that's the point, you know. That was it, actually. That was the... Let's take it back again, because in case you missed it, obviously it's better with the visuals. She's happily skiing away, and then suddenly... And it's big. And again, the shark in Jaws 2 is meant to be female. The film doesn't really relay that at all, but if you read Hank Sells' novelisation for the original screenplay, it's female. And it's preggers, if I remember rightly. It's preggers too. The hallmarks for shark movies, need I say, Jaws! Jaws 2, and Deep Blue Sea. She's doing all this, like, and she's got no idea what's behind her. Kind of really wish, the poster for Jaws 2, where she's like blissfully in a yellow bikini as well, like yellow again. No idea what's happening, and the sharks come out behind her like, ah! A lovely play on the original Jaws book cover and film poster, where Chrissy Watkins is swimming across the top and it's coming up below her. Super phallic, toothy phallic horror thing. Toothy phallic horror thing. You would not want that on a poster, would you? It's a rampaging, toothy horror phallic thing. She's getting the girl that's driving the speedboat, pulling the water skier. So the play on it, the shark and the Jaws poster is underwater coming up, so it's the horror of what's beneath you. But the clever thing about the Jaws 2 poster is it's cut out the fucking water, and because of Jaws, we know that the great white does that. Makos jump out of water, great whites do bob up and look. They come to the surface and look at what's above them. You on the boat there, ha! I'm coming for you next. You know, lands miles away. This is my domain. I'm coming for you. So great whites do it, but makos do jump out of the water. So to see the great white on the Jaws 2 poster was actually a nice play on the original. It's like, oh my god, it's not in the murky, horrible deep water with an oblivious female. It's coming up out the water into the bright, sunny, daylight world of humanity with an oblivious female. It's fucking awesome. It really is. Jaws 2, one of the greatest sequels there is. I've said it many times. A very worthy Jaws entry. Jaws 3 is a fucking floating turd. Jaws the Revenge doesn't even float. It just sinks. The Deep Blue Sea is great. The Shallows is great. Well, yeah, it is. I really enjoy that actually. And then you've got oh god, there's a whole bunch of them which came out at the same sort of time. The Aussie one called Bait, again a tsunami's involved in that, like the tsunami at the end of the River Seine for the Paris. And everyone gets trapped in a supermarket. There's all sorts of people, there's good guys, bad guys, pregnant, every disaster stereotype is in there. But with the tsunami, which has swamped this entire town, the sharks have come in as well, like, and the sharks are going up and down the shopping aisles. And they're in the submarine car parking lot beneath. It's great. It's actually really good. Anyway. I am going to do this. The dive school. I won't mind your own lobster. I won't mind your own butter. We're diving for lobster. I got the line so badly wrong there. We're diving for butter. I won't mind with lobster. Dear God. Note to self. Never write movie scripts. John Wayne has brought in the harp for the Jaws 2 score. And it's ethereal underwater quality to it, which you didn't have for Jaws, because this film explores underwater a lot more. And this silly diver just, oh, there's a fucking spider crab thing. Oh, that's interesting. I'll go over this rocky outcrop and I'll just go and venture into this underwater forest of horrible, murky, nightmarish vines, which looks like the most horrendous environment ever. Don't go near that. It's like a fucking gingerbread house in the middle of the woods with some long-haired, warty-nosed old crone going, come in, I'm cooking, come in. Tasty. And it goes off and then Brucette. Brucemina. It just lulls you, but you just know this can't end well. Oh, I'll just go past this big scary patch of fucking huge mouth just goes and it's half burned on one side of its face, it's scarred, and it's like it gives it a nightmarish Freddy Krueger look to it. It does give it a different personality to Bruce in Jaws, because it doesn't actually kill him. I wish there was more kills in all the Jaws movies, but I like the fact it doesn't kill him, but he comes up with a terrifying, something obviously scared him. He bit through his fucking mouthpiece, and he's got the bends and all that. Like, get him in for Christ's sake! So something down there scared him. Don't know what it was, but Brody's like, I do. But no one listens to me, do they? That's a shark. I know what one looks like because I've seen one up close. And believe you me, I don't want to go to hell again. Oh, fucking hell. So in this video, you've learned why I don't write screenplays and why I don't act in movies, because my line delivery, hey, is fucking spammy as hell. Kilt-Man, can you just backtrack and try and say it again a bit slower this time? Put the whiskey down, Kilt-Man, and just deliver the lines. Or in Under Paris, that'll be oh ho hey ho hey ho hey ho hey ho. You know what? It's probably a good thing that I don't play back my videos and watch them myself, because they would be a nightmare to watch. I'd be like, I sat there, said that, I went on about lesbians, I insulted the French, and Greta Thunberg. Yeah. What are you gonna do? Lesbianize me. Oh, Eddie's death. Oh, no, I can't go. Oh, it's horrible. Poor Tina. Oh, Jesus. Shark! See, that's why I can't act. Oh, Jesus, Eddie, swim! Eddie, swim as a shark! Eddie, swim as a shark! Just swim! Oh, God. there is some genuinely really like heart in your mouth and like, oh no moments in Jaws 2. And no, regular viewers, I'm not going to go through the whole Marge big bite debate again. I can't do it. When Marge gets chomped, it's just so... She saves Sean, Brody's youngest lad, gets him on the upturned hull of their little tiny little boat. And it comes up behind it and goes, fuck off. And Sean just goes, no. Oh God. Oh dear God. No, I'm going to find it. And you know what? I've done this a million times before on these videos, trying to find the bit where it bites her. And I always miss it. I should know by now. Because John Williams' music, it literally just goes, it's like very pantomimic. It's Mickey Mousing. It just comes up there, it goes, dun, dun, dun. It takes it down. Isn't this bit? You always get more than you bargain for than me, so just stick with it, folks. Keep drinking. Yeah, Chief. Pretty good stuff. Made it myself. He's up here somewhere. There's oh, he's in hot water, isn't he? Richard Dreyfuss. Oops a daisy. Said what a lot of people feel, but did it very untactfully. Very untactfully. Oops. And now he and Robert De Niro, you should put them in the ring together, shouldn't you? Because they're both from different sides of the fence. And they're both vilified. Both great actors, but fucking hell. Actors and their gobs off screen. Mighty Mel Gibson. Oops a daisy, you know. But it wasn't there, was it? Right, the quest goes on. Roxy, you alright? My dog's just there, she's made a strange noise. She's not too well at the moment. You okay? I'll finish in a minute, hon. Come here. Alright, love, alright. Where the hell is this? No, it's not that. See, that's taking down the helicopter. Is it here? I think it's here. Yeah, sorry folks, Roxy the Wonder Dog isn't too well. It's coming up now. Can't get up! Oh God! Oh my God! I'll never get over that. The death of Marge. Let's do it again. Where is it? Can't get up. She's put Sean on, and then she's trying to crawl up. Purely dun dun dun. I'm eating you. Oh, well, folks. Sharks. We love them, don't we? We do. And they're vilified. Poor Peter Benchley really, hated the fact that he put sharks in a bad light. And then he spent about a good 25 years of his life after writing a slew of books about maritime horrors, trying to protect and promote wolves, sharks, and the environment, the marine ecology. He tried to. I've done horrendous wrong by vilifying and demonizing sharks. I didn't mean to do that. And if you read Jaws has a lot of soap operatics in it, which is really annoying and boring, and affairs and mafia. It's just shite. But the shark stuff, the shark is doing what the shark does, but it's just a bigger, slightly more aggressive, slightly more obsessive version of the shark. The films do depict them differently, which is I like. In Jaws and Jaws 2, these sharks, and well, Deep Blue Sea's different, and the other shark was a difference with their own different scenarios. But Jaws and Jaws 2 depict the shark, which really has an almost homicidal tendency. We know that sharks genuinely do. If they start eating people, and they like it, which they do. Most animals, if they bite and kill a human being and eat its flesh and drink its blood, they do become addicted. That's a weird, horrible thing, isn't it? But they do. That's just why they make a real big effort to hunt down bears or other animals that have killed a human being. They will try to find that, and they do it with sharks as well. Like that shark that killed that the Russian swimmer. God, have you seen that? Oh, Jesus Christ, that's pretty horrendous. That, and his girlfriend watched as well. And no one could get to him in time. The shark fucking skittles him. His legs are everywhere, and then he's like still screaming, and it just fucking chomps him down again. And the sea turns red, and all this high pitched screaming and hollering. Ocean turns red. But it's grim as all hell. But sharks, when they get a taste, like other animals, you've got to take them down. And that shark that killed the Russian guy off the beach in Egypt, they hunted that shark down and killed it because they knew it would now be driven back to beaches and be looking for more human prey. They don't eat humans as a rule. They don't want to do that. They're not interested in us. They have their own food source. But if they do take one of us, we're addictive. We're super tasty, we are, Some more than others, obviously. That's something back on the lesbian thing there. But the sharks in Jaws and Jaws 2 very definitely have this sort of almost Michael Myers-like quality where they are a predator, an apex predator that is fixated, and they know that, oh, you're hunting me, well, I'm going to turn the tables on you. They're clever. They might still, the films try to depict them as realistically as you can, but they're still monsters with their own psychology, their own homicidal bent. And that's why they're so great, and that's why these films, Jaws 2 will live on forever. And no matter how many more shark films come out, they'll never top the quality of those two. Never. Right, folks, I'm gonna have to go. So hope you enjoy. Hope you enjoy all this. Hope you enjoyed the review of the movie, which I did about an hour ago, and then all the Jaws stuff and what have you. Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it? I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna play the main title from Jaws 2 because, again, it's like, and then blinky, 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 soothing, blink. But it's just like, Yes, it's beautiful. It's soothing, rhapsodic, and melodic. Watery things. It's aerial down here. And then the film's title was The Vines All Shift, and then Jaws 2 comes out. Big red letters. And those two dickhead divers go down to, we found the orca. It shouldn't have been hard to find. They weren't that far from the shore, you know. Brody and Hooper managed to get back quite. Can we get on those, you know? They used to hate the water. I can't imagine why. You fucking kidding me? And they find they're wrecked. It's a slightly pre-Indiana Jones adventure-y, I think. And they're doing all that, like, posing in front of the orca, you know. But something is on its way. And it ain't Lilith. It's Brucette. Here's the orca. That refrain. Oh yeah, it's cool at the moment. Love to get your picture in National Geographic, wouldn't you? Well, your picture might still make it because the camera survives. Brilliant. It's brilliant how it just siegs from this ethereal underwater beauty to very swift chomping chomp chomp. It's beautifully chaotic. That's the camera floating down, still with the flash going off, still taking pictures. And that's we see the yacht's been anchored there. Of course, the two divers have been killed. Anyway, folks, I must away. Going fishing early in the morning. You know, going sharking, you know. Folks, I have been always shall be Kilt-Man. Please, in the meantime, as ever, like, if you've got a bottle, a swig from it, in between time, please keep it kilted, keep it Celtic, and don't go swimming in the River Seine, mainly because it's full of fucking bicycles, baguettes, gendarmes, helmets, truncheons, and Madame Tussauds waxworks as well. They're in there too. So it's full of detritus. It ain't healthy to swim in there. Plus, there could be a fucking big shark there and all. So keep clear. I'm off to a regatta. Right on.